there's an excellent opportunity coming up to view some excellent artwork from some local artists and some great scenes of Saskatchewan from the Men Who Paint, an exhibition that's coming up. And joining me right now to talk a little bit about that is Greg Hargarten, a local Saskatoon artist. Greg, thanks so much for being with us today. So can I ask, first of all, tell us about the Men Who Paint. Who are the Men Who Paint, and what kind of paintings are we going to see?
Saskatoon. We met and started painting together just over 10 years ago now. We met at the Kenderdine campus at Emma Lake before it was closed down. And over the last 10 years, we've traveled across Canada and abroad. We've typically, when we get together, we plein air paint, which means we're outside. And we've painted across Canada. And yeah, that's pretty much our story.
So what kind of scenes or what kind of things do you enjoy painting and exhibiting for people, I guess? Well,
because we're plein air, for us, it's more about being in the area that we're painting. And I think the travel is a big part of what is appealing to us. Some of the painters that we admire are the early painters, Canadian painters, Group of Seven, Tom Thompson. And those guys really did a lot of, out in the bush painting. And that's really what we enjoy. Some guys like sitting in a boat with a fishing rod. We like sitting in a boat with a canvas in front of us.
That's interesting, because I'm more the fishing rod guy, but maybe one day on a lake I'll see one of you with a paintbrush and a canvas. That's great. And it's a great opportunity to see scenes in Saskatchewan or see places in Saskatchewan without having to go there, because you do all the traveling to get there. Tell us a bit about the traveling. I mean, is it a lot of long kilometers on foot? Are you in boats, things like that? Tell us about that aspect of it.
Well, we've done everything. We've painted in the Arctic, where we had to be flown in and landed on a gravel landing strip that used to be a gold mine. We've been in a boat to an island off the coast of BC in Haida Gwaii. We've been in Saskatchewan and hiking in the backwoods up to Grey Owl's cabin, or at Cypress Hills or Grasslands more recently. And then we carry all our stuff on our back and we get out there and set up and paint for a couple hours.
That's interesting. I want to touch on something you said. You said you've done painting up in the Arctic. I got to ask you about the weather. How cold are you willing to get out that paintbrush and canvas, and what's it like painting, in weather where there's snow all around you?
Well, there are challenges for sure. We tend to try, when we paint in the winter, we tend to try to paint in April, where it is right around zero. A couple of us paint in acrylic paint, so if we don't do that, our water freezes and it's almost impossible. When we were in the Arctic, we were there in June, but we were staying in tents, and at night it would drop, -2, -3. And my sleeping bag was rated for -10, but I can tell you that doesn't mean you're comfortable at -2 or 3. It just means you won't freeze to death.
And I guess, yeah, certainly, obviously, some of the challenges with the painting there, but it's fantastic work that you guys do. Can I ask you, is there a favorite scene, a favorite place to go? How do you select your locations? Is it kind of just random? Can you tell me about that?
Well, no, we all have places that we'd love to go. Like last summer, we were in Haida Gwaii, and we had been hoping and trying to get there for years. And finally, with the help of local Haida artists, we were able to get accommodations there and sort of mix in with the artists in the area. And so a lot of it's personal connections. We're still gunning for that East Coast. We haven't painted further east than Ontario yet. So, anybody who's got a contact out in the Maritimes, we'd love to go.
Now, the Men Who Paint display that's coming up here, tell us a little bit about that, the COVID protocols you guys are abiding by, and how people can come and check out some of the great artwork.
Well, we're going to be at the Willows next weekend, so that's October 23rd and 24th. This is mainly work that we've done in the last 2 years. So there'll be some stuff from Haida. We were in the Rocky Mountains this past year, and we painted actually in Prince Albert National Park this summer. By coincidence, we were invited to paint there last October, and it worked out great for us with the COVID. Traveling was a little sketchy there for a while. As far as the show goes, it starts at 7 on Friday. And typically on our opening night, we get 200 to 300 people out. So this time we are limited. We have to limit the amount of people that can come in. So we have a previewing. If you are interested, you can actually sign up for a time slot, which guarantees that you'll be able to come in without waiting in line or waiting outside or whatever. And we'll have hand sanitizer, and masks are strongly recommended.
How can people sign up, and where is the exhibit going on?
The exhibit is at the Willows in one of the banquet rooms there. And the sign up, if you go to our Facebook page or our website, there's a link to a place where you can sign up.
Sounds excellent. Men Who Paint, October 23rd and 24th at the Willows. Greg Hargarten, I want to thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thanks a lot.